Hello, guys, welcome back to Movie Shorts. In this video, I will explain a Indian movie Dangal, which is about Mahavir Singh Phogat, a former wrestler who decides to fulfill his dream of winning a gold medal for his country by training his daughters for the Commonwealth Games despite the existing social stigmas. The story revolves around a small village in district Bhavani, Haryana in India. The movie starts with Mahavir Singh Phogat watching an Olympic game for wrestling in his office. TV is broadcasting that India's role in wrestling is very poor. A new employee, Vivan, joined the office to argue with Mahavir about wrestling, so Vivan challenges Mahavir to wrestle because he was a state champion, but he loses by Mahavir, a national wrestling champion. Mahavir also works part-time at a local wrestling ring and he is very talented in terms of wrestling and its technique. But he was forced by his father to give up the sport in order to obtain gainful employment. He could not take part in the Olympics and win gold. Therefore he has hopes very high that his future son will win gold for the country. His wife Daya Shobha supports him morally but keeps having a girl child back-to-back 4 times in a row, being Geeta, Babita, Ritu, and Sangeeta. Finally, Mahavir Singh loses all hope and locks away all his wrestling equipment and medal in a trunk. After 13 to 14 years, one day a neighbor's family had 2 sons of age 13 years old comes to his house to complain about their sons being beaten up by Geeta and Babita. Mahavir assumes that his nephew, Omkar, has beaten up those boys. However, he soon realizes that it is his older daughter who has done this. The girls happily demonstrate on their cousin Omkar. Now Mahavir realizes their potential to become a wrestler and begins coaching them. Mahavir starts their training by being a very tough coach, waking them up at 5 a.m. every day. He maintains their diet and restricts street food and makes them exercise. The young school-going girls hate their boot camp. It is tough and they are constantly falling asleep in school because they are so tired. They were also teased in school for walking like men. One day the girls decide to trick their father and not wake up for training. They change the time on the alarm clock and sleep peacefully. They also make excuses about how their long hair is causing issues in their training, so Mahavir then gets a local barber to cut his daughter's long tresses. The girls plead but he does not pay heed. In school girls also get teased for their short hair. They hate their father for making them go through so much embarrassment. One day they attend a schoolmate's wedding without telling their father. When they tell their friend how they hate their father for making them go through the wrestling training, she replies that it was nice of their father to at least give them some training, unlike her who was being forced to marry at age of 14. The girls learn to appreciate their father. Now girls realize that their father wants them to have a good future and not grow up to be a stereotypical housewife. The next morning, they set off for training and from then on, they train hard. Mahavir allows them to wear shorts for training and he even allows them to eat chicken. When Geeta, the elder daughter, is ready, Mahavir takes them to another village for wrestling. All people oppose that they would not let a girl fight with a boy, but due to lack of audience and as a means of earning more money the organizer agrees. Almost all the villagers arrived to see the girl fighting and everyone is positive that she will lose very badly. Now Geeta chooses her opponent and starts fighting. She fights very well but at last, she loses. Everyone in the crowd is amazed by Geeta's talent. Even if she loses her match, she is rewarded with 50 rupees by the organizer. Mahavir preserves these 50 rupees in an album as a memory. Due to the loss, Geeta is not able to sleep and asks his father, when will next wrestling fight be organized? All the people in the village who were previously accusing and backbiting about Mahavir start cheering for Geeta and Babita and look toward them with pride. Both the sisters soon become impossible to defeat and win every next wrestling tournament. Mahavir is unable to afford wrestling mates, so he has used 2-layer mattresses and trained them in freestyle wrestling to prepare them for competitive events. Geeta goes to win the junior and senior championship at the state and national levels before heading to the National Sports Academy in Patiala to train for the forthcoming Commonwealth Games. Once there, Geeta makes friends and begins to disregard the rigor and the discipline that she has been brought up with. She regularly watches television, eats street food and grows her hair. Her coach's training method and wrestling technique differ significantly from her father's, which she believes are superior. During a visit home, after taunting her father for his old technique, she defeats her aging and visibly exhausted father in a ferocious bout that ensues. Babita tells an unrepentant Geeta that she should not forget their father's techniques and reminds her that she owes all success to him. Due to her overconfidence, she loses 4 big tournaments in Moscow, Indonesia, and other places. Her father is upset but he is not keen to talk to her. In the meantime, Babita also becomes a professional wrestler and wins the local championship. Babita also qualifies to go to the National Sports Academy in Patiala. Here she sees how her elder sister has lost her way. She gets her sister to come back on track by patching up with her father who has moved to Patiala with their cousin. Geeta however finds herself losing every match at the international level. Subsequently, her coach coaxes her to compete in the 51 kg weight class from 55 kg. Frustrated and persuaded by Babita, she tearfully makes peace with her father, who comes to Patiala and begins coaching them secretly using the same methods as when they were younger. Learning about this and furious with the Mahavir's interference, the coach wants the girl to be expelled. But sports authority allows them to continue and ban Mahavir from entering the academy. Determined to continue assisting his daughters, Mahavir obtains tapes of Geeta's previous unsuccessful bouts and coaches her by pointing out her errors over the telephone. When it is time for the Commonwealth Games, Geeta has to wrestle with Angela Watson, whom she had lost earlier. Geeta almost loses her match because her coach asks her to defend only, however her father asks her to attack or defend depending on how the opponent plays it. Mahavir constantly contradicts her coach's instructions while sitting in the audience, which she follows while disregarding the latter. Just before the final match, the coach plays dirty and gets Mahavir locked in the stadium so that he is not present in the stands to guide her. When Geeta is doing her final round, Geeta is lost without her father's assurance. However, she remembers a piece of advice he once gave her. She remembers him telling her that she must make her own path and that he would not always be around to save her. Geeta lags behind, managing to win the first session while losing the second, trailing by 1 to 5 points in the final round and 9 seconds left. She recalls the tactical techniques taught by her father and 5 pointers that, despite being difficult but were not impossible, Geeta executes it on her opponent in the final 3 seconds, taking the score to 6 to 5 in her favor, thus winning the round. She won the match by 2 to 1 rounds. As soon as she is getting the gold medal, Mahavir can hear the national anthem of India and comes to know that his daughter has won because the national anthem only rings for the winning team. In this process, she becomes the first Indian female wrestler to win gold at the Commonwealth Games. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe our channel.